So, hi class. My name is Bradley. This is Leah, Sammy, and Danielle. And we did our risk management for Projects4Haiti. And so today we have for you a video of our reenactment of an interview we had.
Well, hi ladies. Thank you so much for being with us. Just to get started, what are your names and positions at the organization?
Well, my name is Bertrude Albert, and I'm the CEO.
I'm Priscilla Zelaya, and I'm the COO.
Oh, hi.
And together,
We're the co-founders of Projects4Haiti.
Projects4Haiti. Great. So how long have you been with this organization?
well, we've been with the organization formally since 2011. It grew from just the two of us, and now we have 17 staff members on the team.
Wow.
Oh wow, that's great. Where did this idea spark from? Before we met, I went on a mission trip my freshman year to Port-au-Prince in Haiti in 2008. And I then met Bertrude the year after we moved in together. A little after that, the Haiti earthquake hit, and we immediately were concerned because she has family that lives there, and so we went to visit. And after seeing the devastation left behind from the earthquake, Bertrude came back and got a group of me and 19 of their friends, and we went back on a mission trip with her. And so we both vowed to continue helping them and making an impact back in Haiti, and that's when we decided to formally start the organization.
It's awesome. Your heart must have really been stirred there.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So what, can you give us an idea of what your administrative structure looks like?
Right, so all visionary decisions are made by our board of directors. I'm the CEO, and so she's the COO. We are together on the board of directors, as well as our CFO, Josh, and we make the final decisions for everything. But we usually have meetings just between us three on like the bigger decisions, and then we ask the rest of the staff about anything else.
Oh wow, that's cool. So how did you get involved in the beginning? So on January 12th, actually at 4:53 p.m.
4:53?
Yes, exactly. I have a
Wow.
weird memory, I guess. We came up with the idea of what is now Projects4Haiti. So we were both sophomores here at UF, and we were touched by the devastation of the earthquake, and we were so inspired to help the people who are so vulnerable, and we thought, what can we do? And on March 19, 2011, we took our 19 UF students raised $23,000 and brought clothes and shoes to Haiti on a mission trip. And after this trip, we learned a very valuable lesson that it's much better to help and create and teach rather than just to simply give out handouts, because then the people there are much more dependent on you, and instead of teaching them, then they have to they're more dependent on us instead of being independent and being able to be sufficient on their own.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
And then in 2011, both of us applied for Projects4Haiti to become a business, a 501c3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it. Totally worth it.
So what services do you provide?
So P4H, Projects4Haiti, is all about sustainable development. There's just simply a plethora of programs designed to create, support, and connect the people of Haiti in order to support the idea of sustainable development. So, for example, one of the things we have is the teacher training. In this teaching program, Haitians go twice a month to help each other learn and become quality teachers. And then once they go to this conference, they go out into Haiti and they teach other teachers as well.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. So, like, do you pay experts to do the training, or like?
Actually, no, we don't. We recruit people from all over the world, and 600 of our teachers have gone with us before to the conference, and so we partnered with them, and we helped them become amazing teachers for their own communities.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really crazy. That's awesome. So who are your clients? So we mainly focus on educators in Haiti, businessmen in Haiti, young people between the ages of 12 and 25, women in Haiti, and then younger children. A really plethora of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, them all. We try and get them all, yeah.
Right. So, what are the sources of revenue that you have for fundraising?
just everything under the sun. We have cold call, we do sponsorships, smaller grants, service fees. So like for example, when we do the teacher training, we have we require them to pay $5 each to be trained for their traveling, and for whenever staff members go, we have personal fundraising goals as well.
Okay, so like each staff member like raise a certain amount of money to attend on the trip. Got it.
Yep.
That's cool.
Oh wow, okay. And just curious, what is your current financial status and your needs? So for each program, we have a budget set for every year, and we try to follow that one, obviously. The percentages are set for each group, and so they use like stumbling blocks as stepping stones each year, kind of learning off of what didn't work the year before and how we can improve for this current year. Oh wow, yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
So I got a question for you, Bertrude. What past risk management practices have you used?
Oh man, just going to another country in itself is such a risk.
Yeah.
But we always look for the precaution of safety when traveling, especially for our team members. We always have security personnel and good food selection. In the past, a woman twisted her ankle while we were hiking up a mountain, and and she was a volunteer. So then they they put her on a motorcycle, and so that they didn't have to walk. Actually, tell the story.
Well, since there were 3 of us trying to fit on the motorcycle, I ended up crashing it.
Oh my goodness.
I ended up crashing the motorcycle because that's just typical.
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't do that again. Yeah, so we won't
we don't put more than 3 on a motorcycle anymore.
We'll put more than 2.
Sounds like a good risk management practice. Yeah. Way to stay safe.
Yeah, exactly. We also made the hike voluntary, so you don't have to go if you don't want to.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Good plan.
What are the core values of this organization?
So we don't have anything like written out and set in stone, but just as at the core, we always focus on human life, dignity, how God made us in His image, the power of education, and the hands are out of detrimental, and partnerships.
Wow. Powerful. So, do you have multiple locations for the organization, or where are your headquarters? What's that look like?
So we plan on expanding P4H within like the next 5 years to reach more than just Haitian lands. And when this happens, we want to take on like more chapters and branches. But for right now, we're just operating alone in this particular branch. We tried opening a Miami branch, but it was too soon and it didn't work out, so we had to close it. But a lot of the staff do live in other areas besides Gainesville and our other surrounding areas. For example, Josh, the CFO, he lives in Orlando. And so the board is kind of spread out, but in the future the organization will expand. But for right now, we're just this one in Gainesville, in this one specific area in Haiti. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I know you said it's one specific area in Haiti. What location is that? Like, where do you stay? Where do you travel to actually in Haiti?
So we go to Cap Haitian Haiti, which is in northern Haiti, and we all stay at my dad's house actually. So over there, we partner with my dad's church because he's the pastor there, and so we stay at his house, and it's a really fun experience. All of us in one house.
Sounds like a fun.
Yeah, that does. That sounds really fun. And I heard you say earlier that I think you guys all stay on the roof or something really cool like
sometimes
that.
Sometimes people there's no AC inside the house, so sometimes people like stargaze at the roof and sometimes sleep there.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm gonna go to Haiti. So do you have partnerships? Are you partnered up with anyone?
Do you want to take
No,
this?
go for it.
Okay, so we don't have any long-term partnerships, but we do often collaborate with some organizations on UF's campus. So we partner with the UF Latin American Studies and with the UF International Center. And then on November 14th, where Projects4Haiti is having an event. We're partnering with the Latin American Studies, UF European Studies, and UF African Studies, and the College of Education and International Center.
Wow, that event's coming right up.
Quite a big group, yeah. And there's going to be guest speakers like the mayor of Gainesville, the superintendent of Alachua County School Board, and Alas Board of Sudan. So it should be a great event, and we're really excited.
Oh wow, okay, that's awesome. So you guys do partner here and there with people, but no long term.
Yep,
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you have them. So, do you have like any paid employees?
Nope, so everyone is completely volunteer, even Priscilla and I.
Wow.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Is there like an interview process for these like volunteers or these interns?
Yeah, it's quite extensive actually. So the interns submit a resume and a cover letter to us, and usually it's through someone we know. So we always have by word of mouth a letter, personal recommendation, and so they go through the interview process, and then they go to further an interview with their department heads as well.
Oh wow, cool. All right, that's awesome. And so do you guys end up usually? How long do they stay on board? Is it a renewal process or?
Usually, so staff members, they have usually a 1-year agreement to stay on, and then our volunteers, they usually have 15 to 20 of them from UF, and they usually stay for a semester.
Oh wow, cool.
Okay.
Awesome, yeah.
Do you like track their hours?
Oh, sorry. So we both work about 35 to 40 hours per week for Projects4Haiti, but while we're both in grad school right now. But
Whoa,
the
on top
other,
of grad school?
yeah.
Getting
How
our
do you
PhD.
do it? What?
But the other staff works for about from anywhere from 5 to 15 hours a week, and each person is expected to keep track of their own hours. So it's not really a formal system.
Got it. Okay.
That's a lot of hours you work.
Yeah, on top of getting your PhDs.
Yeah.
So what are the potential risks that the nonprofit faces in things like maybe governance or administration or operations? Anything you can think of off the top of your head?
So I think one of them, because we are founders of, as well as the CEO and the COO, we definitely have the risk of mission drift. That's being on the board, we often experience founder syndrome.
Yeah, and then like a financial risk that comes up a lot is just not having enough funds to pay staff, so they have to volunteer their time. And because of this, things can get pushed back because they get put on the back burner when stuff that is a priority in their life comes up, just since they aren't necessarily being paid as a job.
Right.
Oh, additionally, language barriers.
Right.
So I'm from Haiti. My family's from Haiti, and so I speak Creole, but she doesn't, for example. And so do a lot of our volunteers. Or a lot of our volunteers don't speak Creole.
Right.
So the language barrier is also a risk because we also have to take translators there from America or get translators from Haiti, and so sometimes we don't, have all of the funds for all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, and like another big thing is our sometimes with our interns, if they have like not the best experience when we go abroad, because a lot of things can go wrong.
Sure.
You're in a country where like there's a lot of poverty. There's like you're not used to a lot of the ways of living, and so if they have like a bad experience, like if they get sick in Haiti or they get hurt and they're injured, we want to make sure that that person still feels that what they did in Haiti was powerful and that they give a good image of what our organization's all about instead of necessarily like talking about their poor experience.
I think speaking of the image of our organization, I think that brings me to the next one of just like social media risks. You can't really control what everyone posts on social media, so it's just
That's another one. Yeah.
It sounds like though you're going a long way in kind of prepping the organization to like take back and put out the best image for.
We're trying
to do that.
Doing a good job.
So why did you start your own organization rather than actually just partnering with another one who has the same goals?
So Britt actually tried to reach out to her old church, but because it was a really old school
Did you know
Baptist.
Bert?
Because it was like a really old school Baptist church. She was like a young minority and they didn't really want to be a part of it, and because there was so much like red tape, a lot of things got in the way that we couldn't partner with them. And so after that, we couldn't really find another nonprofit that did address the long-term issues that we wanted to look at. Most of them go on short-term missions, and so a lot of the nonprofits that have the same idea, such as wanting to help Haitians, go and give like money and clothes and supplies and food and like handouts, basically, which is something we're not really for. And so that's like goes against our core values. And so we try to teach them to be independent. Yeah, so I mean, can you expand? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's all about
So we wanted to give them like instill long-term results instead of just like quick fixes.
Sure.
I definitely think that's a better idea, having like to teach them and have them learn rather than just handing things out. So I think that's a really good philosophy.
Yeah, we think so too.
Yeah. Do you have a background in like business or accounting, or do you have like any experiences with
Man.
Oh man. So when we first started Projects for Haiti, we had no idea. But by doing so, it's been almost 6 years in the making. So we have been better, become better businesswomen. We've learned to be lawyers and to be better researchers, and so, but what was really cool is when we grew our board of directors, and we got Josh, our CFO. Like he definitely takes care of all of the monetary things and all the financial things. And
He's your treasurer, right?
Yeah, he's our CFO.
Oh.
Thank God for Josh.
What would we do without him?
I don't know.
And so with our board of directors, they were all chosen for a specific person, so for a specific reason. So we try to see that the things that we lack with along with Josh, and we say, like, what things do we need? What things do we need to expound on? And all of our board of directors meet that and above. So we're really blessed.
That's awesome. That's great that you don't just pick people you know, but you actually
absolutely.
Like, you pick people for a purpose. That's great. It really is.
Well, are there any other comments that you would like to add as we're closing out our interview?
Well, I guess just a shameless plug. We do have a Facebook, Twitter, and an Instagram. We have a publicity director named Pascal, and he does a great job. So check us out and look for us on those different websites.
Oh, also, just another thing too, additional. But we are starting the first and only training center over there in northern Haiti, or in Cap Haitian, Haiti, and so we're so excited. So a portion of all of our donations are going to be put into a separate fund for them. So there's going to be where it can seat, I think, 600 people in that training center. So Haiti's going to rise. We're so excited.
We're so excited.
Wow.
That's really awesome. That can also probably, you guys can probably like run that out and things like that and actually make income off of that. So that's really great.
That's what we're hoping for.
And plus you'll have a place to stay now instead of your father's house. So that's really cool. Well, thank you so much for letting us interview you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Priscilla, Bertrude. I know we all are very inspired by your enthusiasm and passion for this organization, and I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us.
Thanks so much.
So along with governance and administrative risks, Projects for Haiti also takes a lot of operational risks when taking Americans on trips to Haiti. The ones that I can specifically think of would be team members getting sick from Haitian food and the way that it's differently prepared, as well as safety in the living quarters and transportation to and while in Haiti. For the first one, team members not getting sick from food, I think that's very normal to think of when Americans go abroad and go to different places. Oftentimes, food is prepared differently, made differently, and so American stomachs aren't really used to it. So Projects for Haiti takes a lot of precautions in that and makes sure that they don't use street food. A lot of their membership fees when the membership fees that they give to Projects for Haiti, a lot of that money does go back into the food, making sure that they don't get street food and they get the clean food in the area, as well as hiring the chefs each year. So while they're in Haiti, they do hire specific chefs to make sure that the food is properly cleaned and made, so that it doesn't really affect the American, I guess, body as much as it would if they were to just go to a street corner food. Additionally, in preparation for the trips, they do have someone on their staff to gather all of the food preferences as well as the allergies that the team might have. And that same person also goes, when they go to Haiti, they make sure that those allergies are taken into account when making the food, and that the chefs know are aware of all of that stuff too. For the second one, for the safety in the living quarters, a lot of times going into developing countries, safety is often a big issue. But what's really cool is that Projects for Haiti partners with a local church in Haiti, and the pastor is actually Bertrude's father. So they also stay at Bertrude's father's house as a whole team. What's really good about that, and the things that they made sure of to make sure that they limit any safety risks with the living quarters, is that they are the house is gated, they have a security guard, and they have guard dogs, just so that they have really just a lot of safety, and people are more comfortable and more prone to coming on the trips with them when they know that there's it's safe over there. And then lastly would be transportation, specifically pre-Haiti. The whole entire team takes the same airline to Cap Haitien, Haiti, from like Fort Lauderdale or Miami, and so they all fly in the same plane so that they don't get lost, or no one's confused or left behind. Additionally, they don't use public transportation in Haiti because A, it can be expensive, but B, they do hire the same bus driver for the entire week, so that they know that person, they have a long-standing relationship with them. Usually they his name's Jimmy, that they the bus driver that they hire. So again, just loyalty and knowing who they are, and him knowing who we are, just so that there's a safety precaution there as well. So I think Projects for Haiti does an exemplary job of really just coming through and like seeing all of the great risks that can happen when taking Americans into a different nation, and I think they do a great job of covering all their bases, and especially with their operational side of things.
Hey, this is Bradley Johnson coming at you live with an overview and some recommendations for board governance risks. Here we go, let's jump right in. So, Projects for Haiti, you've done a great job of setting up a fresh, young organization that's filled with passion and zeal, and I really love seeing that. You were an inspiration to me, and so here are just a few things that you may want to consider to strengthen your risk management. As you may know, nonprofits are generally incorporated for limited liability or indemnity protection against claims, so you may want to consider putting that in. And you've got a solid board already established. You have 9 directors right now, and so that's great. They've really been a blessing to you to ensure all actions are intended to advance the mission. Bertrude, I remember you mentioning to me that you have one girl that sits on the board that's been through the FYCS department, and her name's Amanda, and she keeps bringing up that question to you as the president. She, as a board member, brings up the question to you, is this really mission-oriented? And so it's great to have a person like that in place that's going to continue to make sure that everything is focused on what it should be focused on. As you may know, you may want to draw out some policies here to make sure that all the board members are doing things as a duty of good faith, duty of due care, and duty of loyalty. That's going to really cover them as far as their liability goes. Just as a reminder, the duty of good faith is going to be to act with honesty, fairness, and candor on the nonprofit's behalf. The duty of due care is going to be to act prudently by taking the position seriously, using common sense, and making informed decisions. And just to really attend meetings, be involved, read reports, be well informed about what's going on. And I can already tell that y'all are really there as far as wanting to be a part of the organization. You really hand selected and trained and oriented these members, so you've done a great job there. And lastly, a duty of loyalty, where the director fulfills the duty of loyalty by acting in the best interest of the organization. They violate this by conflict of interest or acting out of their own interest. And so you may want to consider setting up some policies that are written. For instance, just an atmosphere of self-disclosure. If someone's like dating practice changes, where there may be some overlay, just having people let others know on a regular basis. You'd also mentioned to me, Bertrude, that you had hired on a new treasurer. His name's Josh. Sounds like a great guy. So glad that you found him. and that he's really done an awesome job of overviewing the finances of the organization and really questioning where all the money is going, and that and even making it all a little bit more frugal, making sure that you're not spending money on some of these trips that wasn't well planned out. And so really glad to have him in place. He's going to be there to continue to review the finances and make sure the tax reports are done, review the audit report. So that's all very, very important. Another quick recommendation is going to be to, within the bylaws, for you guys to sort out the qualifications for the membership, but also the term in the office and the term limits. So, Bertrude, you had mentioned that something that might be a possible risk for you is founder syndrome. And as the co-founder, this is obviously very near and dear to your heart, but I think it's awesome that you also recognize that could be a potential risk in the future. So you may want to have that written out. At what point would you rotate and find someone else that's going to be equally driven to further the purposes and the mission of the organization? Moving right along here. Just gonna close things out with a checklist. So we've got the board member rotation. I think that it would be good for y'all to, within your selection process, just establish the qualifications for a board member during recruitment, so they know exactly what's expected of them and how to abide by the risk management plan. So having everyone kind of sign in and be in agreement there, and like it could be within the manual or that type of thing, but I think that'll really protect you by going that extra mile to create a manual for the board members, along with that conflict of interest policy that I mentioned, and just disclosing things along the way. So that's gonna close it out for me. This has been Bradley Johnson on board risk governance.
Hi everyone, I'm going to be talking about the administrative risks that are involved with Projects for Haiti. A few of them that we're going to be discussing are the lack of planning, the loss of sponsorships, and having support from other organizations who don't follow the mission of Projects for Haiti. So for the first one, the lack of planning, a few things that do fall under that would be, problems with paperwork. So, for example, if someone's passport or their medication or maybe some flight documentation or maybe the liability paperwork, those things not being filled out properly. Another thing that could be a lack of planning would be problems with traveling. Maybe a flat tire, medical illness, accidents, carjacking, maybe the drivers getting lost or not showing up, missing their flight, security problems, or maybe carrying explosive drugs with you when you're traveling, things like that. Something else that falls under lack of planning would be problems with the currency. So, for example, if you bring a credit card and either it gets flagged because you didn't let them know you'd be traveling, or if they don't accept credit cards, if you bring U.S. currency which isn't accepted there, or if you bring cash instead but it gets lost or it gets stolen, all these things, if better planned, might have been avoided. So moving on to the next one. Okay, so another risk would be loss of sponsorships. So for this, money that gets donated could be lost just from disorganization. Something else would be that money could get pledged, but it doesn't end up being donated because the process is poor, the follow-up process, no one actually is going up to the organization and following through. So then they get, an unprofessional sense from the organization, and then they decline to either donate further or in the future. And then, you could lose sponsorships through that. Something else that would be an administrative risk would be support from other people who don't follow the mission of Projects for Haiti. So, for example, they don't like to partner with other organizations who do go to Haiti and have the same ideas, because most of these other organizations are doing short-term missions, whereas Projects for Haiti are really about the long-term sustainability. So their goals are just different. So they don't really want, if they do partner with other people, it could really cause, mission drift. So Projects for Haiti is really interested, of course, in this long-term sustainability and actually building up the community, and they really don't want to drift from this. So if they do partner with someone else who has other ideas, it could really cause them to do pressure. It could really cause pressure to make them do something that they're uncomfortable with. Also, because they are a Christian-based organization, you really don't want to do anything that goes against what they believe in and what their organization, Projects for Haiti, believes in. And partnering with someone else could have this effect. So those are a few of the administrative risks that we are going to be talking about in our paper. So yeah, thank you. And